Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Tibbs. I'm the president of HAPevolve, and I'm here with the most recent edition of the HAPevolve Solution Spotlight. I'm extremely happy to have Sebastian Mellon with me today. Sebastian is the CEO of a company called Cerebrum, who comes to us by way of an industry partner of HAPevolve's called JDP, with whom Cerebrum has a very close working relationship and some joint ownership. So Sebastian, welcome to the conversation with us today.
Hey there, Joe. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be on, and I'm excited about what HAPevolve does and sort of what JDP and Cerebrum can bring to the healthcare space in Pennsylvania and beyond with our technology and services.
So let's jump right in, Sebastian. Talk to me a little bit about the Cerebrum JDP connection. What is it specifically that you do in kind of a high level elevator pitch format?
It's a great question. You can sort of think of JDP as the powerhouse behind Cerebrum. Everything that JDP provides is amazing screening services, high quality onboarding for healthcare staff and anybody who might interact with a healthcare facility, really anything that might be related to screening providers, right? So anything like drug testing, infectious disease panel searches, any kind of background checks or criminal searches as well. And Cerebrum is sort of the innovation engine that plugs into what JDP creates.
So Sebastian, one of the challenges that we hear from a HAPevolve perspective on a fairly regular basis is workforce onboarding has always been kind of an administrative burden. Kind of getting together all of the various parts, pieces, the information, making sure that you have all of those information elements to bring in a new employee into your organization has never been super easy. Can you compare kind of the JDP Cerebrum strategy as it relates to onboarding and contrast that with what maybe the normal process might look like?
So really in a traditional onboarding process, especially in healthcare, oftentimes the compliance layout is quite fragmented. And what that means is that you might have different pieces of compliance data that are stuck in different silos or that are located in different areas within an organization. And really one of the goals of Cerebrum and what JDP does is to bring all that data into a central place where it can be shared, viewed, and updated. And so that's really what our VID technology does. We actually call it a credential wallet. And what that means is it's essentially a place for a user to store all the various credentials that might be part of a standard compliance audit or a standard onboarding process. It's actually much easier to access all that data and much easier for anyone on the compliance team to verify that someone who's being onboarded has what they need available, because we can essentially make the sharing and verification of that compliance data as easy as one click, as opposed to a 100-part multi-step process.
Sebastian, one of the things I think is really interesting about your partnership with JDP is your ability to leverage blockchain technology to keep sensitive information confidential, as well as kind of drive some efficiencies. Can you talk to us a little bit about the technology and your utilization of blockchain to be able to try to drive some of these compliance efforts forward?
Blockchains are actually a very good match for compliance flows. The reason for this is that blockchains offer three standard attributes: immutability, privacy if leveraged correctly, and then also shareability and portability of data. What this means is that using the blockchain systems that Cerebrum provides, we can create credentials that can be shared with anyone and verified back to the issuer. This means that anyone can verify that JDP issued these background checks without needing to check anything else than a blockchain record. What this blockchain record is a privacy-preserving, completely anonymous, but still verifiable proof that that information belongs to a certain user or to a certain identity and came from a certain party, like JDP. The information is also immutable, which means that once it's issued, it can't be tampered with. Unlike a PDF or paper document, a blockchain credential is immutable once issued. This means that anybody who verifies a blockchain credential issued by JDP can be sure that it's legitimate, has not been tampered with, and applies to the proper person. This helps massively when we're doing large-scale compliance audits, or even in smaller scale situations where compliance data needs to be shared between organizations or between silos within an organization.
Sebastian, one of the things that I think has been really interesting recently is the request and the mandate for healthcare organizations to not only vaccinate their employees, but also keep track of that vaccination status. Can you talk to us a little bit about how your solution is driving and is able to help support hospitals in that journey?
Of course, vaccination management is one of the pieces of the puzzle that this technology makes a lot easier. And we've actually built a system called the vaccination management system, which plugs into a lot of the underlying technology that Cerebrum builds, which allows any organization to collect vaccination details from their employees, both for COVID vaccinations and other vaccinations, and then output all of that vaccination data in the form of this verifiable QR code system, which means that that vaccination data can be used for things like badging, access to events or other locations, and even for things like visitor management. And this is something that we can also integrate with existing systems within a hospital quite easily because we use this standard credential format model.
Well, Sebastian, on behalf of myself and HAPevolve, I want to thank you for spending some time with us today and certainly educating us a little bit more about blockchain, a little bit more about compliance requirements and onboarding of new employees. And again, thank you for spending some time with us on our Solution Spotlight today.
Thanks, Joe. It's been a pleasure, and was glad to do this with you. Thanks.